In the end, there was a lot of signs of maturity. I thought, when the game was 1-1 and Dartmouth on the power play, I thought that was more gritty. I thought our penalty kill really stepped up, and right after that is when we scored. We had that little flurry. Mm-hmm. So I think after that point, there was a maturity to our game that was excellent. But up until that point, I thought it was, I thought we were playing well, but we had to show some grit there with a big kill.
Yeah. How tough is it to give up that goal with 0.4 of a second left to go in a period that, had another room tied?
Well, I think you don't like to give up goals ever. We had the puck with full possession in the offensive zone and tried to do too much with it, and they came down and scored. So there's multiple things that we don't like about it. We continue to try to play a perfect game, which is impossible. So I don't like giving up goals against, and don't like giving them up when we had full possession.
You kind of mentioned that pursuit of perfection, but you learn a lot more of your team just from their mistakes. I mean, what are you trying to say to your team after giving up a goal in the last second?
Well, like, what did we say after the
Yeah,
first
what did you
period?
say after?
Well, I really felt, what we talked about after the first period was that we had excellent control of the first period, and we controlled the positives, but we also controlled things for Dartmouth. We had 6 really bad turnovers by how we track turnovers that led to offensive opportunities. Shots were 9-3 for us at one time. We had 3 defensive zone turnovers, and the shots were then 10-9 them. Then we control the puck again, and we go up in shots. Then we turn it over back-to-back times. They come down and score. So we talked about we're in control. We had really good energy. We were controlling the puck, but we can't always force things. And the guys responded.
Dave, it seemed like shots were high on both sides there, but it seemed like Savory was pretty calm in net throughout the game. Obviously, building a cushion helped him, but how do you think he looked overall, you think?
Well, honestly, I think the guy in the button was a different guy tonight, pushing the button more often, which goalies like that. But your question was about Savory.
Yeah.
I'll let you choose to edit if you want. I thought Savory, when goalies are confident, they control the pace and the tempo of the game. They catch it, they steer it, they handle it. Obviously, they have to save it. I thought he made some critical saves when the game's even at 0, when it was 1-1. That's a big penalty kill, of which he's a massive part of. So I thought his play was excellent. And to use the word again, control, I thought he controlled the pace and tempo, helps us on icings, just takes whistles when we need them.
I thought your team was also patient tonight. Linden on that first goal, the puck jumps over his stick, and he stayed with it and came back and brought it back forehand. And even Polino, after he whiffed on his first attempt.
First three.
Okay. But what does that speak to just the guys' poise in that moment? They didn't panic and they stayed with the play.
Well, again, you guys are referring to things that we refer to different. To me, there's poise involved, but it's desperation. Like, you missed it. That's your moment. You've got to be desperate in that moment. And Tour he made no mistake with it, but he had to jam that thing hard in around the goalie because he'd lost, he went below the goal line. Patty Polino was there, and that was his moment. That's an empty netter. So that desperation has to be a part of our game. If you're comfortable in that moment, poise doesn't matter. So you got to have that comfortable desperation, and I thought on both of those two, that's what we had.
It's easy to look at the 6 goals over the final 40 minutes, but defense was able to also just keep Dartmouth off the board as well, especially shutting down that top line. What did you like about them?
Well, I thought Tour Linden's line, who we matched against them all night, with Will Riley and Corey Babachuk, really controlled the pace. And they're a dangerous line. I mean, they get the puck and they go to the net. I think they generated half of their shots tonight. They're one of the best lines in the league, and you could see their skill level, and tonight we were able to defend them as a group of 5.
You're able to top last season's wins mark in January, so I don't want to say about this team that they've been able to just kind of slowly improve over the last few months.
Well, the word slowly is interesting because it's in a year that's 365 sleeps, right? Where we go to bed and wake up thinking about how can we get better, how can we work together, how can we build on what we had. And to the guys' credit, they've woken up and attacked that as a mission, and it's refreshing, rewarding, and it feels good.
It's been good getting the extra work after practice, and we've also been working on those Royal Road passes during practice as well, so those have been paying off for us.
Did you see an open spot on the ice where you set up for the play?
Yeah, I kind of got lost behind the net, and Chewy kind of found that seam, and it worked out.
Yeah, so it came out. You had a pretty solid performance that first period. You gave up a goal in the last second. Just how are you able to just kind of refocus and rebound?
Yeah, I think we needed to put that period behind us in intermission and come out hard and keep it simple, and I think it paid off for us tonight.
What do you kind of learn about yourselves being able to do that? It's always a tough thing to give up a goal in the first minute or the last minute, but especially the last second of a period.
Yeah, like I said, you just regroup in the room and then just go back to what we were doing when plays were going right for us. And I think being hard and simple was what was working best for us tonight.
It was a pretty fast-paced game, lots of shots on goal. Was that to your guys' liking?
Yeah, I mean, I think our passing was pretty crisp, and when we had the opportunity, we were able to get it to the net.
And the 7 different guys scored tonight, Todd. What does it say about the depth of this team and what you guys are able to do? Doesn't I think all lines scored.
All 4 lines.
All 4 lines scored a goal tonight.
Yeah, it's really important we're able to roll all 4 lines, and I think that's really important, especially in the stretch at the end of this year.
It was a great handwork, I thought, on your play. How did it kind of develop from your eyes?
Yeah, I think Burgess made a great pass to the point, and then Will Riley kind of got it on net quickly, which was great, and then just kind of found my stick and kind of stuck it in the back of the net. I think I pulled it from behind the goal line quickly. I might have hit the back of the goalie's pad and gone in, I'm not sure, but yeah, it was a good goal.
Is it you got a guy on you, but you have to stay patient. What's the key in that?
I don't know, it was just kind of a reaction time. Didn't really think about it until after the goal, so just kind of one of those things that just kind of reacted to it over practice, I guess.
Give a solid first period, give up a goal in the final second. Just kind of what do you say to yourselves? Just how are you able to just respond like that over the final 40 minutes?
Yeah, I think we were happy with our period overall, so just kind of sticking to what we were doing, sticking to our game plan, and just I thought we were doing a really good job of playing in their end, and just like keeping them in their end and hard on the forecheck. So we just kind of had to stick to that, and eventually, obviously in the second period we had a big period. We were in their end for a lot of the period, so we stuck to that plan and it worked.
You guys have another solid performance against a team just near the top of the ECAC this month. Just what have you seen these changes from your team over the last month or 2 months?
Yeah, it's just kind of the same thing. We've just been sticking to the process, and we've continued to get better at that, and gotten closer to play a full 60 minutes every time. So I thought we had a really good game last week against Union too. We just didn't get a couple of the bounces, and then tonight it ended up going our way a lot more. So pretty similar game.
Let's get specifically the process.
Just kind of like what we focus on in our game, stuff we work on in practice. Just kind of sticking to what we do.
Yeah, I think we were pleased with how we were working on all cylinders, and then we just wanted to get out there and kind of do the same thing, and fortunately ended up in the back of the net.
You guys get the face off, and you and Gordon will just take off. Did you see open ice as you crashed the net there?
Yeah, I did. As Goran's got that puck, he was, making a great play and sent it back door, and I was just trying to hustle, kind of get open a little bit.
What does this some of your goals say about the unselfishness of this team? I know there's the give and go with Jerry and DeGrande, and you guys just willing to pass the puck maybe almost too many times sometimes.
I think our passing was good tonight. Maybe a couple times, maybe something a little different where just a puck on net would do too. But it paid off a couple times tonight, so we'll try to keep it simple.